Well, there is a pretty good history on this that we can point you to about, my opposition to NAFTA at that time. I spoke out against it starting in 1992. I argued against it, but, the president made a different decision.
That was Hillary Clinton talking about her stance on NAFTA. On a conference call though today with reporters, the Obama camp said, quote, her opposition to NAFTA is just as much of a stretch as her story about landing in Bosnia under sniper fire. With us now for analysis, pollster Frank Luntz. David Gergen, by the way, said she has always been opposed to NAFTA, was when he worked in the Clinton White House. So that's been confirmed by other sources. It seems like there's more than one answer to that question, Frank.
Well, most of the information that we have is that she backed her husband when he was promoting it, that she attended meetings, made phone calls, and pushed it. It's impossible to know accurately what happened behind the scenes, although I'm sure that thanks to YouTube, we'll see some video at some point in the next 48 hours. But if she is shown to contradict what she's just said, voters want someone who says what they mean and means what they say. It's the most important attribute in 2008. And if a candidate is shown to be taking both sides of an issue, or worse yet, to be hypocritical, to claim one thing from a few years ago, and then to be shown to be doing something else, they're penalized from it.
Doesn't that get neutralized during the campaign? I mean, when we have whoever it is versus John McCain and the various stances he's taken on immigration, go down the list, doesn't that make it a wash?
Well, I've been watching the show for a half hour, and what's interesting, and what I don't think viewers may realize, is just how tired these candidates are. We're at the beginning of April, and they're going about 12, 15, sometimes 17, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're all over the country, and what you are seeing over the past 10 days is misstep after misstep. Now, the question you have to ask is, are they genuine mistakes where they apologize, or are they blatant attempts to either distort the truth or manipulate the truth? Going back to that Bosnia comment, you've seen the video. When you tie her verbal comments about how she was under sniper fire, and then you see the video, it's impossible to feel the same about her. But it's not just Senator Clinton who's been under attack. Senator Obama made comments about how he came to America, how he came to exist, and how his father came to America from President Kennedy. Let's hear the language that he used, because what we know now is what he's about to say is actually incorrect.
The Kennedys decided we're going to do an airlift. We're going to go out to Africa, and we're going to start bringing young Africans over to this country and give them scholarships to study so that they can learn what a wonderful country America is. And this young man named Barack Obama got one of those tickets and came over to this country.
Now, you have to understand the actual fact is that he had come over to America in 1959 before John Kennedy was elected president. So the information is wrong. And what we've seen, and Bill Clinton was good evidence of this, is that Democrats are always trying to tie themselves around the mantle of President Kennedy. He is still the most popular Democratic president, more so than Bill Clinton. And that's why he tried to do it. And I think you'd acknowledge, Alan, that it is inaccurate.
Hey, Frank, I want to go into this and look at maybe, if we can, for the sake of our audience here, the bigger picture here. Sir Edmund Hillary, sniper fire. I'm a Yankee fan, which nobody believed. When it comes to the heart, doesn't this become about character, credibility? If Barack Obama's doing the same thing, I think he also ran into an honesty and credibility issue. Oh, I had no real idea. I never was there during those controversial sermons of Reverend Wright. Aren't both Democratic candidates suffering because of this?
Well, all three candidates are suffering because, to be fair, when John McCain made the comment about the Iranians funding and promoting al-Qaeda, that in itself was inaccurate.
Yeah, but he corrected it right away. It's not like there was either sniper fire or there wasn't sniper fire. The Kennedys helped or the Kennedys didn't help. He sat in the church for 20 years. Did he really not know where his pastor was coming from? Or is he trying to be a politician and save his career?
I understand that, and it becomes an issue of judgment. It becomes an issue of credibility and integrity. The comment, the joke that was made in 2004 about John Kerry was that he took so many different positions on the issues that he would have been the first president ever to be able to deliver the State of the Union address and the rebuttal the same night.
All right, let me
now take a look at the two Democratic candidates, but you have to decide, Sean, whether or not it is a slip-up just because of fatigue, or whether they're deliberately trying to cover something up.
I gotta be honest, I don't see how you could say you didn't know in 20 years. You either know there's sniper fire or you don't. There doesn't seem to be ambiguity. You're either a Yankee fan or you're not a Yankee fan. You're either, you were named after Sir Edmund Hillary or you weren't. These issues seem to be, in her case, most recently embellishing her career. In his case, trying to avoid controversy, even though he disinvited the pastor to his own invocation when he was announcing for president. So it seems like it's inconsistent, and if any Republican is smart, they would exploit these, wouldn't they?
But they have been exploiting them, and I would actually, I don't even think the word exploit is proper.
Well,
that
exploit
they've
it
been raising
politically.
them
I mean, exploit the controversy politically.
And letting the public decide. But this is why Democrats are very angry about the situation right now, because they see the two candidates coming at each other. They see them making mistakes, some of them forced, and they want this thing over.
All right, let's
another one.
Barack Obama on abortion, and this has gotten, I can tell you, Frank, I played it on my radio show, and this has gotten a ton of passionate response. Here's Barack Obama.
I've got two daughters, 9 years old and 6 years old. I'm going to teach them, first of all, about values and morals. But if they make a mistake, I don't want them punished with a baby. I don't want them punished with an STD at the age of 16. You know, so it doesn't make sense to not give them information.
He was asked about AIDS, I believe, and STDs was the original question, Frank, so we want to be fair to what this was about. But, you know, I don't want them punished with a baby? You analyze words. Is that going to hurt them?
There are millions of Americans who don't look at a child, even an unexpected child, as a punishment. They look at it as a blessing. So I'm not surprised that people have responded so angrily towards it. But I will tell you that there's a difference in position between Republicans and Democrats on abortion, and Obama's position is very similar to what the Democratic position is on abortion.
But Frank, I want to get this forward in the next segment. As Sean pointed out, the question was not about abortion. He wasn't talking about abortion when he made the baby reference. It had nothing to do with abortion.
He still used the phrase punished with a baby, and that's something that most Americans would appreciate.
We'll get more into that when we get back. Let's check.